Last night I had 150 milligrams less lithium, and I found a little clue on my nails, which are very, very faint zinc deficiency marks, and they're sort of at the top, which means it's more recent. It's hard to get it on the camera. I'll try the other side. See on this finger near the top, it's a really faint mark, and on this one there's another mark. Put the key in, turn it, nothing happens because I left my lights on. My old car doesn't give me the indicator that my lights were on when I left the car. So I'm sitting here. Luckily, I do have BCAA, but I'm just kind of lazy to even call them. But of course I have to. And I'm hungry. Yesterday, someone gave me a nice compliment on the article I wrote for Emerging Proud. They said that it made them kind of emotional because they've gone through things like that too. But on the grand scheme of things, I feel very unmotivated and very not good, and kind of like I don't want to do this business class. I just want to get rid of every single commitment, and I don't know, maybe get a job for a couple months, save some money, and go. This class feels like a bit too much information. I have a hard time staying organized with this. Like thinking and planning and recalling, and I haven't heard back from Peter Smith yet about having an appointment about all that stuff. And I'm kind of bummed about my living situation. I don't really have enough space to create and talk and whatever. I guess I better call BCAA because I want to go get some food. Still won't start. So I called BCAA and they're going to be about 45 minutes. That's quite a while. I want to go and get food. This morning I had some Tim Hortons. I had a bagel. And my car is really messy. I want to clean it. And it kind of smells. I wish I could spray that Norwex micro something spray. I can't remember what it's called. And my car is 1,000 kilometers away from turning 200,000 kilometers old, which is pretty young still. So I do want to keep this thing in good shape. I just got an automated call from BCAA that there'll be 20 minutes. So that's not as bad as 45 minutes. But this is the kind of stuff that happens when things aren't going as well, when one's bipolar state of consciousness isn't as sharp and elevated. Things like arguments with people, or annoying traffic, or forgetting to turn off one's lights in one's vehicle and needing a jump start. things like that don't happen when one is in an elevated state. They just don't. So, yeah. And I got a notification that my iPhone is on the way. So I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know what that means. And I'm feeling pretty bummed, so I'm tempted to take that sertraline, but I'm going to wait until I have that N-acetylcysteine. It's on the way, as well as coenzyme Q10, and I do want to talk to this guy to see what else I can take that's natural to navigate this, but I just feel more childish and not able to get over arguments and move on, and not provoking arguments, but feeling kind of hurt by the contents of arguments. And I can't remember if I said I had a really, really bad sleep last night. It was like I didn't fall asleep, but it almost felt like I fell asleep, so I wasn't trying to fall asleep. I was just sort of laying there, and I had a really weird dream where there was this bear outside the house, and I was having a bunch of people over all over the house, and then they would open the door and I'd come down and close the door and say, "There's a bear outside." So I think I took too much B vitamins, because that leads to dream recall. I was taking 2-pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which is the precursor to B6, and I also was taking 2 folic acid, whereas this morning I took 1 of each of those, as well as whatever else I take in the morning, zinc, something. So I started listening to my first video from a long time ago, and in this state of consciousness it sounds kind of dumb, but I'm thinking that I might start posting the audio videos after listening to them, because what do I really have to lose at this point? And all the plans of being off the meds have failed, so I'm not sure what part I will share. Like, maybe I'll have to edit some out, because I don't want people following along that trajectory per se, or I don't know what I'm saying, but I could just start posting them, because I think what's important is to find some co-creators and not really worry about other things so much. And I'm not even sure if I'll get through this business course. Like I said before, it seems like I don't follow through with anything, but I think that is a byproduct of how my brain works. I don't really remember much. Like, I can't put things into like this big thing. So yeah, I don't know what that's all about. And so after BCAA comes here, maybe I will go get some sushi. The other day I didn't have sushi because I couldn't find the place in the complex. So I had Quiznos, and it wasn't even good. I used to have Quiznos turkey, ranch, and Swiss when I would eat turkey, but now that I don't, I had a vegetarian one and it wasn't good. And then I looked on the sushi website, and then I noticed, well, there it is on the map on their website, but it didn't really show it very well on Apple Maps. So I ended up not eating sushi. So today, hopefully I will get to eat some sushi. So my car's started now, yay! And I need to drive it for about half an hour to make sure the battery recharges. So I'm gonna head back home area and get sushi out there. One of the crappy things about the town I live in now is that the closest kombucha is 15 minutes away. Where I lived before, it was like 3 minutes away. So I realized, but I'll probably forget, that I need to find my neuro tribe, because I was listening to the first 2 videos that I ever made. Well, there were a few before that, but the first 2 in the playlist, and I talked about open dialogue and how it's a breakdown in the social fabric and blah blah blah. Well, I'm not sure if my social fabric will be mended, or if that's the social fabric that I'm meant to live in general. So in that way, I need to find new social fabric. So gotta get looking for that. I'm gonna go get some gasoline and go back home. One other thing I wanted to talk about was that I was in a toy store the other day and I picked up a book about Steve Jobs. And I read that his last words were, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." So that's kind of a good sign.